After retiring, I wanted to downsize, and I found this lovely tiny home. I wanted a sense of community, and I found it here. Before I moved to what we now call Tiny Town, I have always lived in planned communities, townhomes, condos, that sort of living, but I had never lived where people are so close in proximity or close in relationships. I chose tiny living because I did want a much simpler lifestyle. I wanted easy to clean, easy to keep up with as far as maintenance. I consider it very affordable living, very easy living. I had followed this tiny home community before it was even owned by Simple Life. So when I decided to make a change, I came down and took a tour and fell in love with it, partially because of the community that I had experienced on that tour. And that was really what was important to me. I really think of this as my forever home. So this is the living area, which I use all the time. It's very light in here, so I don't have a lot of lamps. I don't really need a lot of lamps. Plus, it has very high ceilings, so it's bright. It's just very relaxed in here. It's not stuffy and formal, just very relaxed. I sit on the couch and watch movies, watch TV, read, and relax. This is definitely my hangout area. This is really the only place for the love seat, and there's not a lot of room for extra chairs, so I just have this little small chair over here. If I had people over, I would need more space. I would need more seating, but I do have the bar stools, so that helps. But it's a tiny house, so you have to kind of make do. The fireplace is a must. You really have to have a fireplace in a tiny home because there's not a lot of insulation underneath and it can get really cold. So this fireplace I use all the time. This model does not have a loft, and I picked it for that reason because a lot of people that live here are my age, and I think a lot of people that don't have lofts are the same as me, that they know that they can't get up and down it. When I moved here, I felt like it was very important to bring some of my past. So I brought some of my dishes and some of my books. But when you live in a tiny home, you really have to live tinier. When I was buying my tiny home, my mother had just passed away, and my parents had a lot of antiques, and I wasn't able to bring any of those or any of my antiques to this tiny home. But that was the choice I made just because I wanted the community. One of the reasons that I love this home is that I do have this wonderful island, and I use it for a lot of things. I sit here to eat. When I have company, extra space to have these nice bar stools. There's tons and tons of storage underneath, and I have wonderful countertops that I did pick. They're quartz. And so I'm very happy that I did pick this house with an island. On this side of the kitchen is the must-have a tiny home dishwasher, which is tiny, but I can not imagine not having it. And yes, I did pick it. I did add it. And then next is what another great addition is the farmer sink. I picked the farmer sink because it's big and it's attractive. It just really fit into the scheme of my house with the stainless steel dishwasher, refrigerator, stainless steel sink. I know that it is a huge sink, but it is worth it. In this kitchen, you have more space than you even need. Microwave, electric stove, electric stovetop. The thing I think is the best about this kitchen is all the storage. Even little tiny drawers like right here, a little skinny cabinet right here. You can always find something to put in these little cabinets. There's great space below the sink. These cupboards are wonderful because they're deep enough and they're wide enough to store as much as you need. I inherited Fiesta ware from my mother, but when I lived in Pittsburgh, I had a huge collection. So I downsized that before I moved here and kept my favorite pieces. I missed some of the pieces that I sold, but that's what you do when you go tiny. This refrigerator is a GE. It actually came with the house, but it's very functional. It's hard to find this size of a refrigerator, so I've just kept it because it has to fit in this space here. This refrigerator holds quite a bit. I don't keep a lot of produce because I like to get it fresh. The freezer is pretty good size. Some of it's taken up by the dog's frozen dog food, her gourmet dog food, fancy dog. So above the fridge is fabulous storage. It's just a great place to store items that you're not currently using, which is really important in a tiny home. So this is my pantry. It's actually 3 different cupboards. So it's great for storage, for spices, for food. It's really nice to have a pantry. I think in a tiny home, you have to have a pantry. This kitchen is everything I would ever want. It's definitely big enough. Even if you have people over, there's room to maneuver, opening wine, opening whatever. I think it's the best kitchen in all the tiny homes in Simple Life.
Hey there, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching the tour of Susan's beautiful tiny home. This tour was made possible by the sponsor of this video, Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool makes DIY mini split systems that are a great solution for heating and cooling a tiny home. Long before Mr. Cool became a sponsor of this video, my husband and I used their system in our own tiny home, and we installed 3 head units all by ourselves. One of the main reasons we went with them is because Mr. Cool comes with pre-charged line sets that already contain refrigerant. This means we didn't have to use any specialized equipment, and we didn't have to hire anyone else with specialized equipment, which saved us money. They came with clear instructions and a wall mounting template, so the whole process for all 3 of ours only took a weekend. Their systems come with a remote and a phone app, which allows you to operate the unit even from outside the house. If you're looking for a way to cool your home and save money in the process, check out Mr. Cool. You can go to the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code. Now let's continue the tour of Susan's home.
We are now in the den. A lot of people that live in Simple Life that have this similar model like to use this for a bedroom. But I like to just have my plants and just have a den, a sitting room where I can sit, read, relax. So the closet is pretty big for a tiny home, but I have a lot of clothes because I work in retail, so it's not enough closet space. But it is for a tiny home, it's quite large actually. I don't think in a tiny home you're gonna have more clothes storage than in this house. I just don't. Unless there are people that have made a room like this into a closet, but that seems wasteful to me. So leading from this beautiful den is one of my favorite places in the house, the screened-in porch, which faces the clubhouse, the meditation garden, and the herb garden. One of the best things about this house is there are no houses behind me. This is a protected space, so there'll never be any houses back here. So that was a big decision, is to buy this lot. So I have some extra storage here for my tools and my gardening supplies and my bird supplies, and comfortable couches, a chaise lounge, and more plants. So in the morning, I like to sit out here and catch up on the news with a cup of coffee, and it's just so nice and very peaceful. So this tiny home is 600 square feet, which does not include the screened-in porch. It does include the addition. I ordered this home from a company that is no longer in business. They, at that time, built a really high-quality tiny home, And I designed this house with the help of the salesperson who's no longer here. With his help and ideas, I'm very pleased with the way that it turned out. The cost of my home at that time was $196,000, and that included the addition, the screened-in porch, and my lot rent is $853 a month, but that includes a lot of things that I'm very grateful for, and one of them is landscaping. And I have a pretty good sized yard, so I'm very grateful for that. Our lot rent also includes valet trash, which I also love. We also have water and sewer covered. We have 2 clubhouses where we have all kinds of get-togethers. Anything you want to do, pretty much. There's card playing on Wednesdays, crafts, knitting, quilting. We have parties. So it's really nice living. I do think tiny living can be affordable. It depends on what part of the country you live in, because I've been looking at tiny homes elsewhere, and some of those are more expensive and have higher lot rent. But I think you have to keep in mind what you get for the lot rent, and that's what a lot of people don't do, is they think, oh, I pay so much for lot rent, but you know, you get a lot for it. Tiny living is not for everyone. Some people do move here and then realize that they just can't let go of things. You have to be willing to let go of things. Or, in my case, you have a storage unit. The paring down, or as we call it, purging process, was a gradual thing for me. When I lived up north in Pittsburgh, I had a 2, almost 3-story townhome that was 2,100 square feet with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, giant kitchen. So I did that gradually. I moved from Pittsburgh to Asheville, where I had 1,100 square feet all on one level. So that was a process. It's not easy to get rid of things, but you just do it if that's what you choose to do. But it has to be something that you choose to do. And like I always say, tiny living isn't for everyone, but I enjoy it. I'm happy with it. So this is a stackable washer and dryer, which is what most people in tiny living have. The dryer's on top, the washer's on the bottom. It is electric because we don't have gas here. It is super handy to have your own washer and dryer. I wouldn't live anywhere where I didn't have my own washer and dryer. And this is so set back in here, you don't really notice it. So it's actually, you have to have a washer and dryer in your house. So this is the tiny bathroom. It is tiny. But you know, I've lived here for 4 years. I'm so used to it. You just make amends. You know, I bought this cabinet for extra storage, and there's storage under the sink. So it's very utilitarian, I guess I should say. Then you have the shower. I would replace these doors with glass doors at some point because it's plastic. So the shower is big enough just for one person, but no, it's not easy for someone that has had their hip replaced and going to have their knee replaced, because it's got this giant lip. It's not even a lip, it's a step up and over. So it's semi-dangerous, but that's how they have to do it. They have to keep the water in. It's so easy to clean. That's a really important thing about a tiny house. It takes 10 minutes to sweep the floor. You can't let it be very messy because it's tiny. There is no heat in here. Everyone learns that the hard way. You have to buy a small little heater for during the winter. I put mine away because we're done with winter, but you know, it's functional. I mean, what else do you need? Really? How much time do you spend in here? So this is the tiny bedroom. You can use the den as a bedroom, but I love this tiny bedroom. It's very cozy in the winter. I like to come in here in the afternoon with the sun coming in and read, take a nap. It's just a really nice space. The ceilings are really high. There's lots and lots of light. My bed is a queen size. You could put a king size, but I don't think you'd have any walking room. It's actually difficult to make the bed because there's no space to walk on the side, so I have to crawl over, but you manage. So this is actually the same bed as I had in my last house, so it fits right in. I think had I had it to do over, I will get rid of this bed and have the bed that lifts up that has a storage underneath. The best thing about this bedroom is that it has a lot of storage. Over here, you have a tall cabinet, and then there's 2 drawers in that tall cabinet, and then 3 drawers here. So lots of storage. This does feel like my little happy place. It is like a little cocoon in the wintertime. I get my heated blanket, and it's cozy. So I've lived in my house for 4 years, 2 months. I am very happy that I did this. This was a very good decision for me. I really think of this as my forever home. I didn't look at it as a real estate investment like I've looked at my last properties. I looked at it as a retirement place. I've been retired for 11, 12 years, but I've never really retired. I consulted for 2 years after I retired from my corporate job, and right now I just work 2 days a week. But I like it because it gets me out of the community and gives me something else to do. I also do some volunteer work, which many people that live here do volunteer work. Actually, in this community, we do have people that are still working, believe it or not. We're not all retired. We have younger people that work remotely. We have several people that have children, not many, because we don't have a playground. So if you're thinking about living tiny, at least tour a few tiny home communities, or maybe even do an Airbnb in one. I think that would be fun, and see if you really like it. But you're really not going to know until you get in there with your own things. So thanks for coming and touring my beautiful tiny home.